Today we're taking a look at one of the most exciting sensing technologies hitting the industrial automation space, the Pepperl+Fuchs SmartRunner 3D. This device sits in a really unique space in the market. Traditional sensors can tell you if something is there, vision sensors can tell you what something looks like, but very few devices can give you a true 3D understanding, actual depth, shape, contour information in a package that's compact, industrial, and affordable enough to deploy on real machines. And that's exactly the gap that the SmartRunner fills. It's more powerful than 2D vision because it doesn't get fooled by lighting, color, surface variations, and it's smaller and easier to integrate than full-blown 3D machine vision systems. Unlike laser scanners or safety sensors, it gives you a true point cloud, so we can perform measurements, detect shape, or locate parts in a 3D space. This opens it up for robotics, bin picking, packaging, assembly, quality inspection, really anywhere where you need reliable spatial understanding. A lot of factories today still rely on 2D sensors or cameras to make 3D decisions, and that doesn't work all the time. Depth is that missing piece. The SmartRunner solves problems like, how tall is that object? Was that part fully seated? What's the exact position and orientation? Is the shape correct? Is anything missing from the assembly? And because it outputs a true 3D point cloud, you're no longer guessing, you're actually measuring. All right, so let's take a look at the software and just kind of the overall out-of-the-box configuration setup. So here I've got one of the SmartRunner 3Ds connected, just plugged into my laptop here, opened up VI Solution from Pepperl+Fuchs. It's gonna be the configuration software we use basically just to configure the device. There's not a lot of inspections going on here. Remember, we're just outputting that 3D point cloud. But getting this thing set up is pretty simple. So we're just gonna do this initial setup screen right here. We're gonna click on this guy. We're gonna go ahead, pull it out of the box with default parameters. This is where we can go through and, if it's a specific function or area of the plant or an application, we can kind of label what that is. I'm just gonna leave all that default. Now we can kind of see what the sensor's seeing. So here on this first screen, we're setting the trigger. And, for what we're doing, I'm just gonna leave it as software, but you can have it be a certain input. You can trigger the device when you want to be able to collect and output that data. And then on the hardware trigger, you can say if it's a rising or a falling edge, as well as the frequency of that auto trigger, if you do want the auto trigger. When we go to set up camera, we got a few different options here. So right now we're seeing exactly what the sensor's seeing. Blue has me closer to the camera. When I go black, I'm outside that range. And then as I get red, I'm falling back behind the range. So instead of just looking at my belly and my watch, I'm gonna call on my little buddy Baby Yoda here, and he's gonna kind of be our object that we're looking at. So you can kind of get a good view of Baby Yoda, and we'll see how he's doing. And then what's cool about this is, I can get in, if I want to see a 3D view here, I can go in, I can angle this, I can kind of see what that looks like in the space. So, I can go grayscale, I can kind of goof around and manipulate that image kind of to make sure that, it looks as good as we want it. I can dial up gain up or down, and that'll kind of impact the quality of our image. Then we can go through and we can select how we want that image outputted, right? What file do we want? Whether it's a point cloud or a disparity map, there's lots of different ways to get this. We do need to select what that looks like and kind of where to send it. And then once we do that, we're pretty much good to go. 3D sensing used to be incredibly expensive and complex, limited really only to research labs. But today, devices like the SmartRunner 3D becomes practical, affordable, and deployable. Thanks for watching. Reach out to NEFF and our team of automation professionals to see how we might help you on your next project.